Here is exactly how the USPS Postal Exam 474 works and how to pass it. It is the entry assessment for mail carrier jobs. It is nothing like the postal test people remember, and almost every part of it is scored, including the sections that feel like a personality quiz. The Postal Service calls it the Virtual Entry Assessment, and there are 4 versions, 1 per job group. Exam 474 is the mail carrier version. You do not schedule a VEA the way you schedule a licensing exam. You apply for a specific job posting, and if you are invited, an email arrives with a link. You take it online, on your own, with nobody proctoring you, computer, laptop, tablet, even a phone. It runs about 30 to 45 minutes, and the Postal Service recommends finishing it in one sitting. The first thing that eliminates candidates has nothing to do with your answers. From the moment that invitation email is sent, you have 72 hours to finish, and missing the window removes you from consideration for that job. Apply to several jobs using the same version and the clock still starts at the first invitation. There is an earlier filter too. Not everyone who applies is invited to test at all, because each posting assesses a set number of applicants, first come, first served. Applying early is genuinely part of passing. The passing mark is 70%, though you may never see a number. Many candidates simply get a notice of result that says eligible or ineligible. And failing costs more than applicants expect. You are out for that entire job group, and you cannot retake that version for 1 full year. Other versions stay open, apply for a mail handler job, and you take the 475 instead, but the 474 is closed to you for 12 months. Treat it as one shot, not a practice run. So what is on it? The Postal Service publishes no percentage weighting for the VEA. What it does publish is a list of 6 exercises, 1 job preview, 1 accuracy check, 1 situational judgment section, and 3 that ask about you. Not every version contains every exercise. And 1 line in the official candidate guide should change how you take this test. The realistic job preview, the opening part that just shows you what the work is like, with no questions in it, is the only section of the VEA that is not scored. Everything else counts, including all 3 sections about you. Those have no study material, so people click through them fast, and a profile only holds together if you describe the same person from the first question to the last. One more thing before you buy any prep. If a practice site is drilling you on coding and memory, that was a section of Exam 473, the older postal test the VEA replaced. It is not on the published VEA exercise list at all, fine as accuracy practice, but do not expect it on test day. Work situations has a format detail people get wrong. You get a situation and 4 responses, and you answer twice, the one you are most likely to do and the one you are least likely to do. 2 of the 4 usually sound defensible, so the least likely half is where candidates quietly lose points. Pick the response that is genuinely worst, not the one that is merely second best. Try a real one. During the holidays, a customer on your route hands you cash in an envelope to thank you for good service. The most effective response is to thank her sincerely, decline the envelope, and explain that you cannot accept money for doing your job. Handing it to your supervisor instead sounds responsible, but you still accepted it. Notice the shape. The answer protects the rule and the relationship at once, and almost every scenario rewards that same shape. Now a checking for accuracy item. 2 records for the same customer, with an identical street address, city, and zip code, but the middle initial reads Q on the file record and O on the screen. The answer is that the name contains an error. That is the whole section in one question. The differences are real, and they are deliberately tiny. How to prepare, starting with the honest part. The Postal Service itself says you do not need to study for the VEA. That is true about content, not about performance, and 4 things genuinely help. First, drill the error-checking format until comparing 2 records is automatic. It is the one trainable section, and accuracy under time pressure is exactly what it measures. Second, learn the standard the scenarios are scored against, because there is one: safety before schedule. Report a hazard rather than work around it. protect customer information, and never record work that has not happened. Third, when you miss a scenario question, work out why the answer you liked was only second best. Usually it fixed the immediate problem but left the next employee exposed. And fourth, manage both clocks, the 72-hour window and the assessment itself. Read both halves of every work situations item and stay consistent about who you are all the way to the end. To recap, the 474 is the mail carrier virtual entry assessment. Online, unproctored, 30 to 45 minutes and 72 hours from the invitation email. You need 70%, and failing locks you out of that version for a year. Only the job preview is unscored. Everything else counts. You can practice all 4 sections free at .com/en/postal-exam. Address and record checking, work scenarios, clerical accuracy, and a bonus coding and memory drill in English, Chinese, or Spanish. Good luck on the 474.